You know what time it is? You know what time it is? It's mystery box time! What's this? What's this? There's magic in the air. What's this? What's this? I want a hippopotamus for Christmas, but a mystery box, oh, it will do. Hey guys, welcome back. You know what time it is? It is time for another mystery box challenge. This box is sent to me over from Val, aka Auntie Cuckoo, and the items in here are all from Dollar Tree. Yep, you heard me. We are doing a Dollar Tree mystery box challenge this month. If you're brand new to it, Courtney from Creative on the Cheap gathers a group of us together, and we each send somebody else in that group a box. I sent my box over to Wendy at White Sparrow Living, and as soon as you're done watching this video, you're going to head over to her channel and watch her video as well and follow the entire loop until you get all the inspiration you need from everyone that is participating. I can't wait to see what's in here. Let's bust into it. Okay, in this box, there are 2 challenge items that I must craft with. And generally, there's also a twist, but the twist this time is a really fun one. Courtney has asked that we just do an act of kindness. We've been doing that for the past few years since she lost her mom. It's in a remembrance of her mom, because her mom was so good about doing kind things for others. And so she just wants to do like the pass it along. So I'm going to share with you a little bit later on what I did, and I would love to know what kinds of acts of kindness are you doing this holiday season? Let me know that in the comments. Ready to bust open the box? Let's see what's inside. Okay, right on top, I see some laser cut stars. These will be fun to work with. And then I see some little gingerbread men. I absolutely am loving the whole gingerbread thing. How about you? Let me know that in the comments. Oh, what is in here? What is this? Oh, look how cute. Oh, they're so cute. If you have not been to Val's channel, you absolutely need to go and check her out. She has the best shop with me's I have ever seen. I'm not even kidding you. I just think she is adorable. Merry Christmas. You have made the nice list. Aw, make sure you tell Courtney that too. I am on the naughty list because there are more than 10 items in your box. Yeah, Courtney told us to keep the numbers down. That's okay. The more the merrier. 2 are just gifts for you, friend. The challenge items will require your thinking cap. And then she gave me an exploding brain. Can't wait to see what you create. Hugs, Val. The 10s are the gifts. These are my gifts. Jeez. Oh my goodness. I got a gift card to Hobby Lobby. Those are so pretty. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess pretty's not really, they're just cute, and I love socks, and that is the sweetest. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Okay, I'm gonna move the 10 down so you can see. Look at these little ornaments. These are so cute. Val, thank you. Thank you so much. Whatever the challenge items are, it doesn't even matter. But I see one here, so we're going to put that aside. And challenge 2. Set that aside. Alrighty, here we have a red and white placemat. I can work with red and white. A gingerbread house. What is this? Alrighty. I'm supposed to do something with this? No. Can I just leave it? That is adorable. Challenge item number 1. Look how cute she wraps these. It's like a little trailer. Okay. Not sure yet. It's cute. Alrighty. Torture device number 2. Here we go. Well, my DIY is going to be a village. They're so cute. Let's get crafty. Since these gingerbread men were right on top, I thought we should start with them. I just grabbed a couple of them right out of the bag and painted them. This is Hazel by Waverly. I picked it up at Walmart. Once I had them all done with a base coat, I went in with some white paint to give them the details. Now, what really makes them special are these faux little peppermint sprinkles. Now, the exact bag that I have here is not available anymore, but I did find some others that are very similar and actually have more options. So I will link those in the description box and in the comments for you because they are so cute. So here I'm using just a little bit of Elmer's glue to attach these onto the gingerbread men, and I find that is the easiest because you have a little bit of give time before the glue dries, and it dries clear. But of course, you can use some other glues. Later on, I'm actually going to be using these and I'll use some hot glue. But if I have the option to use like Elmer's glue, it is my first choice because the fact that I give time and it dries clear. Now the next thing you're going to need are a couple of these little wooden pieces that you can pick up at Dollar Tree and a couple of clothespins. You're just going to take the clothespin and glue it right on top of those little wooden pieces and then top it with your little gingerbread men. And now you have a really cute little picture holder. Now I use my Canon photo printer to print out a couple of photos. I was heavily influenced by Whitney and Courtney. They both have this. And I love the fact that I can print photos whenever I want and they're not just sitting in my phone. I can actually have them out in frames and get to enjoy them. So this is such a fun little gadget to have and it does such a beautiful job. I am loving this. Anyway, once you get a couple of photos printed, you can pop them right into the clips. And what a fun decor piece. It can also be a really good gift idea. You can pop in a photo or you can choose like maybe your favorite cookie recipe and have a little recipe card. So many fun and easy ideas. This next project, I wanted to use these two nutcrackers that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. First off, I'm going to remove the sword from the one nutcracker. We are going to replace something with it later, but for now we're just going to get rid of it. And then we're going to paint both of these nutcrackers, two pieces of these long wood board pieces that you can get at Dollar Tree, as well as this little wooden sign that you can get in the plus section. The reason why I'm spray painting it is I thought it would be faster and I wanted them to all be the same color, but honestly, you can hand paint them and I do think it would go just as fast. Once you have your base coat, you can leave them just like this, or if you want to add a little pop of color like I am here, I'm adding red. I'm going with a total red and white theme. So I just added red wherever I wanted to. So one of the hats I went in with a solid red all over the hat. The other one I wanted to do some stripes, so I used some tape to help me tape that off so I can get some nice little stripes. I also thought it would be really fun to paint one of the coats in red and leave the other one white and maybe have like a red belt. And from the little shoes to the mid of the knees, I thought would be a good place to do like boots. So I painted all of that red. Honestly, I just had fun and just kept adding red wherever I wanted. Christmas is the only time that I'm really into glitter, but glitter paint is the way to go because it's not messy. Glitter does not get everywhere. So I took this glitter paint, it's a really fine glitter, and I painted the entire nutcracker minus the face and the hands because I wanted those to still be that matte white. Look how beautiful these are once they dry. I wish the shimmer showed up as well on camera as it does in person. Think about like sugared cookies. That's what it reminds me of. I absolutely love it. We're not done yet. I have these peppermints. I picked up a whole bag of these off of Amazon. I love these, and I thought they would be the perfect accent for these nutcrackers. So I popped one on one of the hats, and then I stacked three of them together, and I glued it on the nutcracker, replacing that sword that we removed earlier. And I think they look so cute. But we're not done yet. Remember those wood pieces that we painted? It's time to pull those out because we're going to attach one of the nutcrackers to each of those long boards, just using a little bit of wood glue to secure them down on the very bottom, making sure that the bottom of the board and the bottom of the nutcracker are flush with each other. Words are hard. Remember this placemat? Well, it is time to give it a lot of use. So I am trimming it down so that I can use it to embellish these nutcrackers even more. So I start off by taking a couple of pieces of it to use on the very bottom of the base. Again, I secured those down with a little bit of hot glue and some Elmer's glue all the way around that base. I also took a couple of strips and took them around the waist of the nutcrackers. I thought that was a really fun piece to do as well. I
am so surprised with how much I use this placemat. Just wait, you're going to see more of it in just a little bit. The final embellishment is to go in with these mini little faux peppermints and add them in different places. I use them to make little buttons on the nutcrackers, as well as a little bit of design on like the hat and the bottom of their shoes, just wherever I thought a fun little peppermint would go. Are these not the cutest little things? But we need to finish up the sign. With the help of my Cricut, I cut out Merry Christmas, but you could also use stickers, stencils, anything that you have on hand and whatever message that you would want to go with. So I simply placed this on my board and I off-centered it just a little bit so that I could go in with some red paint and create like a faux ribbon going around the sign. And I thought that was a really fun twist. To have this sign match the nutcrackers even better, I went in with that same glitter paint and painted over the entire sign. Once that dried, I popped on a few more of those little peppermints to help it coordinate, and then it was just time to glue the sign right on top of those sticks. Now I have the sign so it kind of rests on top of the nutcrackers' hats. That's as low down as I wanted it, but is this not adorable? I absolutely love it. Do you like nutcrackers? I am just starting to really get into them. Sometimes I do find them a little bit scary though. It is time to create something super fun with this little gingerbread house. So starting off with, I want to fill that hole. The easiest way I find to do it is to put a piece of tape on the back and then take some of your wood filler and fill it. I went in and I started to paint this, and then I'm like, I have another one of these and I want to use the second layer of wood that comes with it. So I went ahead and I grabbed my heat gun, I heated up the glue so I could take the scraper and scrape underneath and remove those windows that were on this one. Now you do want to make sure that you're careful and you have your scraper under there and you go gently. If it's not going, pause, take the heat gun again, heat it up a little bit more, and then continue to scrape. You don't want to rush this or you're going to end up breaking your wood. Even though I had already put one coat of paint on this, I went ahead and did the same thing. I removed the door and the window that were on here. Once I had them removed, then I was able to go in and give this a good coat of that paint again. And I went in pretty thick because any lines that were on here, I wanted the paint to really kind of fill them in so that I could do my own creation and not stick to what was already designed on this wood piece. While I had the windows and door off, I went ahead and I painted everything white. I did leave the wreath on the door blank. I did not touch that yet, but I also took that same white and painted the roof of the house. I am back with that placemat, but this time I'm going to cut off a little bit of that red section to go behind the door. It's going to look like a little screen door. I am so excited about this. But before I add that on, I needed to go in and I need to finish up the door by painting the wreath. So of course the wreath I painted green and the bow I painted red. But I did go in with a little bit of puffy paint to add some little red dots to the wreath, and I decided to go ahead and put it on the bow as well. Now I could add that little red piece behind the door. Oh my goodness, is this honestly just not the cutest little door? I just love it. Now I wanted to back the windows as well, so I have some yellow tissue paper. I cut it down so it'd be just slightly smaller than the window, and again went in with a little bit of glue to secure that down. And I love that it looks like they have like little lights shining behind the window. So perfect. Now you can just attach the door and the windows back to the house and you can decorate this however you want to. I'm going to start off with by using this chunkier glitter to create my snow. I add it pretty heavy on the roof as well as on like the window seals. And then it is time to go in with a little bit more color. And I have the mini little peppermints and I just went crazy. Now I'm using some Elmer's glue to attach these. And I find that again to be the easiest way. A little pair of tweezers I did find also was very helpful because they are so small. But you can do a long strip of glue and then just pop them in. The glue takes a while to dry and it dries clear. And more is more with this. Add them wherever you want. I went all the way around the house. You can of course stop here or you can grab one of these white easel boards from Dollar Tree, the plus section. I'm using the back side. I'm taking some brown paint and doing like a faux stain around the side. I just brush it on and then use a baby wipe to wipe off any excess. What's great about this is it dries so much faster, but then you still get a great look. I then went in with some white paint to paint the center of it, but it was a little too much for me. So again, I went in with some baby wipes and wiped it off. It took a hot minute, but I got the job done. I really wanted to have more of a worn sign like this had been outside for a while. I did take a little bit of white paint on my brush and did a little dry brushing again around the frame as well. And that kind of softened that brown a little bit more, giving a little bit more of an aged look. With the help of my Cricut, I'm finishing off this sign, but like I always say, you can use stickers, stencils, you can freehand this. You don't have to have a cutting machine, but it does really come in handy if you do. I thought it would be so cute to have this called the Candy Cane Cafe or the Candy Cane Bed and Breakfast. It's not a cafe. And so I went ahead and I put all of my vinyl on, and then I went in with this glitter to cover up the entire sign and give it just a little shimmer. You barely notice it, but I really do love the look, and it actually makes sure that vinyl is never going anywhere. I have these candy canes from Dollar Tree. There's 6 in this pack, and I wanted to cut them down. I just wanted the little hook part. So I went ahead and took my miter shears, snipped those off, all 6 of them. Then it was time to hot glue everything onto my sign to finish it up. So I put the house down, and then I added a little bit of hot glue to each of these little peppermint hooks and created like a little faux fence. I just think it's so cute. And then the bottom half, those candy canes, I can use later because they make little sticks. Absolutely darling. For my act of kindness, I was able to participate in a church service project. I was so excited about this because we were doing different things for our local community. We were doing it for babies, animals, as well as helping feed people. So we were making blankets, packing lunches. There were baby bibs and dog, what do you call those, bandanas, and so many fun things. And here I was the one keeping tally of everything that was coming. And it was so fun to watch as the numbers were coming in, as everyone was making everything. It was really such a fun Saturday afternoon. Not only did I get to do this, but my daughter was with me, so I got to share this experience with her. I love anytime I get to do anything and it serves my community. If you're looking for some ideas for some random acts of kindness, Courtney has so graciously put together a free printable for you. Just scan the QR code that's on the screen right now, and let's make this world just a lot kinder. For this next project, we are going to be using a couple of these stars and some music paper. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, but you can also print some free music printables offline. So whatever you want to do, I just cut these down to be 6 by 6, but honestly, any length that you want works really well. You're simply going to roll them up. I use some tape to keep them secure. Took 3 of the pieces, used some twine, wrap it around a few times. Before tying this off, I went ahead and I grabbed a couple of the stars. I took one of them, I threaded it through, and then I went ahead and I knotted the twine to keep everything secure. And then I took the second star, again, threaded it through the twine, and then I tied that off into a knot as well to hold that in place. The last thing I did was to take some twine to create a bow. I just wrapped it around my fingers 3 times and then took a separate piece of twine to wrap around the center and tied that off to pinch that center close, and then hot glued that right onto that music. I love Christmas music. It is so much fun. It is so festive, and if there is a way to display it, I just think that is great, and I think this is a super cute way to display it in a very easy DIY. No, we have not forgotten about these adorable gingerbread faux cookie cutters. I love them. To start off with, I just removed all of their greenery, and then I took some air dry clay. This is the Crayola brand. I love it because it's white. Dollar Tree sells them as well. And I just rolled it out. Now you do want to be careful about any bubbles. Make sure that you don't have them, but you want to make sure that you roll it out large enough that this would fit on there, or whatever it is that you're going to be cutting would fit on there. Now, I personally love to do this on a silicone mat so that I can peel it away from the mat and make sure that it is not sticking before I go ahead and I cut my image out. So once I do that, I just place this right back onto the mat. I grab that faux cookie cutter, the gingerbread, Press it down firmly so that you can cut that clay. Once you have it pressed down firmly, go ahead and remove all that excess away, just like you would do it if you were making like sugar cookies. And then you can gently pull that cookie cutter right off. Now, again, I like to go one more time peeling that mat away from my item to make sure it's not sticking. Once I've done that, then I go in immediately while this is still wet and give it its first coat of paint. Now, unfortunately, it did crack a little bit, which is normal with air dry clay, but I took a little bit of the gel super glue, pressed that right into that crack, and then I used a little bit of painter's tape to hold that in place while it set up and dried. Once it did that, then I was able to go back in with another coat of that brown paint and give it its second coat. Now it is time to embellish this little cutie. Using that placemat again, I drew out a little collar to go on the little gingerbread girl. I also cut out a piece so I could create a bow. Now, I want to know, when you do that little V on the end of your ribbon, do you call that a dovetail or a ducktail? I've called them both. I'm really curious which came from where, but I've heard both. You want to use something to cinch the center of that bow. So I use a part of the placemat. You can use ribbon, twine, it doesn't matter. And then it's time to finish her up. So I glued on her collar before going in with some puffy paint to add everything else, like her face and then the little embellishments that go on her hands and feet. I just did that by creating a like little zigzag pattern. Once I did that, then I could pop her bow on, and to finish her up, I grabbed a couple of these larger peppermints to make little buttons down her tummy. I just think she is so adorable. I left her alone for a full day because she still needed to finish drying. The air dry clay was still a little bit damp, but after that, she is all ready to go. Now it's time for me to handle these two challenge items. I absolutely love them, but I need them to be a little bit more my vibe. I went ahead and I picked up a couple more at Dollar Tree because I did want to go ahead and create a village. So to start off with, I'm grabbing this Rust-Oleum paint. It is good for plastic, and that is why I'm using it. And I cover all four of these completely. It did take me several coats to make sure that I did not see any of the color popping through. But once they dried, now it's time for me to add a little pop of red. What's so fun about this is that you can do these however you want. I could put red anywhere I wanted to. I could do a little bit of red, a whole lot of red. I honestly just grabbed a very fine brush and went to town, adding in little details on every single one, making them just slightly different than the next. I left some of them with a white roof. One of them I wanted to have a red roof. I added red on chimneys. I did the banister in red. Honestly, everything is a possibility with these. Now, I did go back and add some white where I wanted snow, especially where I had red. I wanted to make sure I had white covering that first. I also used a little bit of green in order to do the wreaths. I had a couple of these that had wreaths on the door, and I wanted green to go on those. But that was not enough for me. I needed more embellishments, so I am getting my money's worth out of these little faux peppermints. And I hot glued them this time because the Elmer's glue would not stick to this. And I hot glued them everywhere that I thought I needed a peppermint. I went to town and had a blast. I also used one of the larger peppermints on one of them. Honestly, you can just have so much fun. Now, if you get one of the other sets that have other things other than peppermints, you can do a lot more fun things with these as well. I mean, it's just such a fun little decorative piece that you can add. After I had all my peppermints on here, I did want them to shimmer. So first I used that fine glitter I've been using throughout the entire video, and I brushed that over the entire house on all of them. Now for the snow, because I needed it to pop, is when I went in with that chunkier glitter and I pounced it in all the areas that had the snow, and it looked so good. I love how these turned out. I think they are darling, and they definitely don't look like they came from the Dollar Tree. Don't forget, check the playlist so that you don't miss anyone else's videos. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I truly hope that you have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!